The Queen of Sheba was a powerful ruler, known far and wide for her wisdom and beauty. Her reign was marked by prosperity and peace, and her people adored her. She was not just a figurehead, but a true leader who made decisions that benefited her kingdom. Her court was filled with advisors, scholars, and artists, all contributing to the rich culture of her land. Her kingdom was rich and vast, stretching across the desert and into fertile lands. The markets were bustling with traders from distant lands, bringing exotic goods and stories from afar. The architecture of her palaces and temples was a testament to the skill of her builders and the wealth of her nation. The people of her kingdom lived in harmony, enjoying the fruits of their labor and the protection of their wise queen. One day she heard tales of a king named Solomon. These stories were brought by travelers and traders who spoke of his unmatched wisdom and the splendor of his court. They told of his ability to solve the most complex riddles and his fair judgments that brought peace to his land. The queen was intrigued by these tales and wanted to know more about this legendary king who ruled the land of Israel with unmatched wisdom and wealth. His palace was said to be more magnificent than any other, filled with treasures and adorned with the finest materials. Solomon's court was a place of learning and justice, where scholars and judges worked together to maintain the harmony of the kingdom. His reputation as a wise and fair ruler had spread far beyond the borders of Israel. Stories of his splendor traveled on the wind, reaching the queen in her distant palace. These tales were carried by caravans that crossed the vast deserts, bringing news and goods from far-off lands. The queen listened intently to these stories, her curiosity growing with each new account. She wondered what it would be like to meet such a wise and powerful ruler. Intrigued, she yearned to meet this legendary king. She began to make plans for a journey to Jerusalem, a journey that would take her across deserts and mountains. She consulted with her advisors and prepared gifts that would be worthy of a king. The queen was determined to see for herself if the tales of Solomon's wisdom and wealth were true. She had heard of his wisdom. Stories of his ability to solve any riddle and his fair judgments had reached her ears. She wanted to test his wisdom with her own riddles and see if he could truly live up to his reputation. The queen spent many hours preparing questions and challenges that she would present to Solomon, how he could solve any riddle. His court was filled with scholars and wise men who would discuss and debate the most complex problems. Solomon's ability to find solutions where others could not was legendary. The queen was eager to see this wisdom in action and to learn from it. How he judged with fairness and grace. His judgments were known to be fair and just, bringing peace to his land. The queen admired this quality and hoped to witness it firsthand. She believed that a ruler's ability to judge fairly was one of the most important qualities a leader could possess. The queen, herself a wise ruler, felt a spark of excitement. She was eager to embark on this journey and to meet a king who was as wise and powerful as she was. The preparations for the journey were extensive, but the queen was determined. She knew that this meeting could bring great benefits to her kingdom and to herself. She decided to travel to Jerusalem and witness Solomon's glory for herself. The journey would be long and arduous, but the queen was undeterred. She gathered her caravan, filled with gifts and provisions, and set out on the journey. The Queen of Sheba was ready to meet the legendary King Solomon and to see if the tales of his wisdom and wealth were true. The Queen of Sheba prepared a grand caravan, a spectacle of wealth and power that would be remembered for centuries. Camels, laden with precious gifts, stretched as far as the eye could see. Each camel carried a burden of treasures, from gold and silver to the finest silks and spices. Gold, spices, and jewels shimmered under the desert sun, creating a dazzling display of opulence. The air was filled with the rich aroma of exotic spices, a testament to the queen's vast wealth. This was not just a visit, it was a testament to her own power and a tribute to the king she longed to meet. The Queen of Sheba was determined to make an impression on King Solomon, to show him the extent of her riches and the strength of her kingdom. The journey was long and arduous. The vast desert stretched out before them, an endless sea of sand and heat. Each day was a test of endurance, but the queen and her caravan pressed on, driven by their purpose. The sun beat down mercilessly, its intense rays scorching the earth and the travelers alike. Yet, despite the harsh conditions, the queen's resolve never faltered. But the queen's spirit did not waver. She led her caravan with unwavering determination, her eyes set firmly on her destination. Her strength and resilience were an inspiration to all who traveled with her. She was determined to reach Jerusalem and meet the great King Solomon. The thought of this meeting filled her with anticipation and excitement, fueling her determination to overcome any obstacle. Finally, after many weeks, the glistening walls of Jerusalem appeared on the horizon. The sight of the ancient city filled the queen and her caravan with a renewed sense of purpose and accomplishment. They had made it through the harsh desert, and now the moment they had been waiting for was within reach. As they approached the city gates, the Queen of Sheba felt a surge of pride and excitement. She was about to meet one of the most powerful and wise kings of the ancient world, and she was ready to show him the full extent of her wealth and wisdom. The meeting between the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon would go down in history as a momentous occasion, a meeting of two great minds and two powerful kingdoms. It was a journey that tested her strength and resolve, but in the end it was a journey that proved her greatness. King Solomon, hearing of her approach, prepared a lavish welcome. The queen, upon arriving, was stunned by the city's magnificence. She had never seen such wealth and grandeur. As she entered Solomon's palace, her eyes widened in awe. She presented Solomon with gifts of gold, precious stones, and rare spices, the air filled with the intoxicating aroma of frankincense and myrrh. Solomon in turn welcomed her with open arms and a warm smile. He was impressed by her generosity and the sincerity of her quest. The queen, eager to witness Solomon's famed wisdom, began asking him a series of riddles. These were no ordinary riddles. They were complex and challenging, designed to test the very limits of his intellect. Solomon, however, met her challenge with ease. His answers were insightful and profound, filled with wisdom that astonished the queen and her entourage. She realized that the rumors of his wisdom were not exaggerated. Solomon possessed a keen intellect that surpassed even her own. Section 5. A Palace of Wonder. The queen spent many days as Solomon's guest. She marveled at his palace, its grandeur surpassing even her own. The walls were adorned with gold and ivory, gardens filled with exotic plants, and the sound of birdsong surrounded the palace. She dined on delicacies she had never tasted before, served on plates of gold. Solomon spared no expense in showcasing the prosperity of his kingdom. The queen realized that his wealth was not merely material. It stemmed from his wisdom and his ability to govern with justice and compassion. Before departing, Solomon showered the queen with gifts even more lavish than those she had brought. He bestowed upon her precious jewels, silks, and spices. He also gifted her knowledge, sharing his insights on governance and trade. The queen, overwhelmed by Solomon's generosity, accepted his gifts with grace. She realized that the true value lay not in the material worth, but in the spirit of friendship and respect with which they were given. The meeting between Solomon and the Queen of Sheba was more than just a diplomatic encounter. It was a meeting of minds, a testament to the power of wisdom and diplomacy. They parted ways with a newfound respect for each other. The queen returned to her kingdom, forever changed by her encounter with Solomon. She carried with her not just material riches, but also the wisdom she had gleaned from him. She used this wisdom to rule her own kingdom with greater justice and compassion. Solomon, in turn, never forgot the Queen of Sheba. Her visit served as a reminder of the far-reaching impact of his wisdom and the respect it commanded from even the most powerful rulers. He continued to rule his kingdom with wisdom and justice. He expanded his kingdom's influence, forging alliances and promoting trade. His reign was a golden age for Israel, a time of peace and prosperity. The story of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba has resonated through the ages, capturing the imagination of countless generations. This ancient tale, rich with intrigue and wisdom, has been passed down through oral traditions, manuscripts, and artistic depictions, each adding layers to its enduring legacy. It is a tale of wisdom, diplomacy, and the power of human connection. Solomon, renowned for his unparalleled wisdom, and the Queen of Sheba, celebrated for her intelligence and curiosity, represent the epitome of enlightened leadership. Their meeting was not just a diplomatic encounter, but a profound exchange of ideas and cultures. The story reminds us that true wealth lies not just in material possessions, but also in knowledge, understanding, and the ability to approach others with respect and an open mind. The treasures exchanged between Solomon and the Queen were not merely gold and precious stones, but also wisdom and mutual respect, which are far more valuable. The Queen of Sheba's journey was inspired by a thirst for knowledge and a desire to witness wisdom firsthand. Her long and arduous travel across the desert, accompanied by a grand caravan, symbolizes the lengths to which one might go in the pursuit of enlightenment and understanding. Her story encourages us to seek knowledge, to embrace different perspectives, and to build bridges of understanding with those around us. In a world often divided by differences, the tale of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba serves as a timeless reminder of the power of curiosity, respect, and the unending quest for wisdom. It teaches us that the pursuit of knowledge and the willingness to engage with others can lead to profound connections and a deeper understanding of the world.